This page has generated 1.5 million views in just the last 7 days using a repeatable format. Ancient Life POV videos. It's a niche the algorithm is heavily pushing right now. Why does it work? It triggers instant curiosity, the scale, the mystery, the time travel effect. Viewers stop scrolling because they want to see what life actually looked like in the past. But if you look at the comments, you'll notice something interesting. People aren't just watching, they are obsessed with the realism. They are analyzing the details. But for creators, achieving this level of realism is usually a nightmare. Think about the current workflow. You write a script in ChatGPT. You generate static images in another tool like Midjourney. You try to animate them in another tool like Runway. But what if you could skip that entire friction layer? What if you could type a single raw idea, like building the Great Pyramid, and have one AI system handle the structure, the scenes, and the motion in a single timeline? That is exactly what I tested using Katalist AI, who are also sponsoring this video. It is a studio in a box, not just an image generator. Today, we are going to push this tool to the absolute limit. We are going to build a viral ancient Egypt video to test historical accuracy. And then, we're going to do something most AI tools struggle with. We're going to build a completely separate oil-painted video, but instead of accepting random results, we are going to use specific prompting to direct the camera, lighting, and props exactly how we want. Let's see if we can go from idea to viral video without the translation gap. The biggest barrier creators face isn't a lack of creativity. It's a translation problem. You have the movie in your head, but translating it into complex prompts is where the magic usually dies. I paste my raw idea here. This is where Katalist changes the game. It handles this translation layer. I don't need to write a full script. The AI analyzes my input prompt. Pyramid, architect, 2560 BC, and breaks it down into narrative beats like this. Look at this breakdown. It didn't just give me random images. It gave me a story structure first. This is crucial because viral videos need pacing, not just pretty pictures. Now, before we generate a single pixel, we need to talk about the elephant in the room with AI video. Character consistency. In standard tools, every time you generate a new image, you are essentially rolling the dice. In one shot, they have round face. In the next, they have a long face. The immersion is broken immediately. Katalist solves this with a dedicated character consistency engine. You can see here they have a system to define and lock characters before you even start the storyboard. This is critical. It means whether your hero is standing in a shadow, shouting from the top of a pyramid, or seen from a distance, the AI is designed to remember who they are. Watch the storyboard populate with different scenes. The vibe is consistent. This is what makes the audience feel like they are watching a Netflix documentary, not a random slideshow. This is the difference between making content and making a film. Once the visual story is locked, we need movement. Static images don't go viral on social media. I could manually direct every pixel, but for this first test, I want to see how smart the auto feature is. I simply clicked Create Videos and exported the final video. Remember, this entire process took me about 12 minutes of actual work. Here is the result.
From empty desert, a single vision rises against the newborn sun. Every line must endure centuries, no room for a single mistake. Stone by stone, the Nile feeds a mountain carved by human hands. Weight, angle, balance. Each block finds its destined place. More than stone, it raises a kingdom's promise. Rhythm of labor becomes music, echoing up these growing ramps. Sharper, smoother, this wall will carry the pharaoh's name forever. When the desert roars, we bend, we plan, we never yield. Storms pass, but the stars heaven, its edges answer to night's eternal map. Higher, steady, this last stone crowns every...
Okay, that is objectively high quality. The dust, the lighting, it works. If you run a history channel, you could print views with this workflow alone. But here is the director's dilemma, and this is where most creators quit AI. Usually when you use auto modes, you surrender control. You get what the machine gives you. What if I have a specific vision? What if I want the camera lower? What if I want to change the lighting? In most tools, you have to re-roll and hope for a lucky seed. Most tools rely on luck, but Katalist relies on instruction. So let's try a fresh experiment. I'm starting a brand new project. This time, we are pivoting from realism to pure art. I want to build a surrealist pyramid in the style of an oil painting. First, I set the global style to oil painting. The AI gives me a good base with scenes again. It's cool, but some of them are standard wide shots. It feels a bit generic. I want this to feel majestic. In a real studio, I'd place the easel low. Here, I just speak to the AI. I'm adding low-angle shot, looking up from the base, imposing scale. Look at that. It respected the style, but it moved the camera down. It didn't just give me a random new image, it gave me the same subject from the specific angle I requested. Now the pyramid looks more magical. Now let's talk about lighting. The current shot is a bit flat. I want drama. I'm just typing golden hour lighting, warm orange glow, dramatic shadows. Instantly the mood shifts. This is what I mean by directing. I am using natural language to paint with light. I don't need to hold a brush, I just need to know how to describe the feeling. This is the power of prompt-based editing. You aren't fighting the software, you are having a conversation with it. I've arranged these custom-prompted clips, added a classical orchestral track, and used the motion tools to make the brush strokes feel alive. Now, a lot of you are going to try this and get bad results. That's because you are prompting like a writer, not a director. Most people just type the subject, a pyramid in a storm. That gives you a generic image. To get the result I just showed you, I use a specific three-part formula. It is camera geometry plus lighting temperature plus texture modifier. Let me break that down. First, geometry. Never just say, show me a pyramid. Tell the AI where the camera is. Use phrases like low angle, wide lens, or Dutch tilt. This forces the AI to render 3D depth instead of a flat 2D image. Second, temperature. Look at the difference here. Cool blue says sci-fi mystery. Warm orange says nostalgic history. Defining the color temperature is what separates a stock photo from a cinematic shot. Finally, the texture modifier. This is the secret sauce. Words like thick impasto brushwork, film grain, or VHS static. This tells the AI how to render the surface. When you combine them, low angle, geometry, plus golden hour, temperature, plus oil painting, texture, you stop generating random images and start directing intentional scenes. Stop for a second. Before I show you the final result, I need to explain why mastering this specific prompt control workflow matters. It's not just about making cool art. It is about unlocking 3 specific revenue streams that auto-generate users can't touch. Stream 1, the high CPM history channel. You've seen the view counts, 44 million views, but the real secret is the profit margin. Traditionally, a documentary channel spends thousands on stock footage subscriptions. By generating your own consistent historical B-roll, you cut your production costs to 0. You keep 100% of the ad cents. That is a massive competitive advantage. Stream 2, music visualizers. Go look at Fiverr right now. There is a massive demand for looping aesthetic backgrounds for lo-fi beats or Spotify canvases. Most sellers charge $50 to $100 for a single loop. With this oil painting style we just built, you can generate 10 unique visualizers in an hour. It's a service business you can start today without being an animator. Stream 3, the micro-agency model. This is where the real money is. Small e-commerce brands are desperate for cinematic video ads, but can't afford a $10,000 film crew. You can pitch cinematic product showcases using this exact workflow. You charge $500 for a 15-second clip that took you 20 minutes to direct. It's high-ticket service work with 0 overhead. So when you watch this final clip, don't just look at the brushstrokes, look at the business potential. Okay, let's see what we built.
Every stone I place must outlast my own name. Down here, sweat and dust turn impossible dreams into rising walls. The Nile delivers more than stone, it carries Pharaoh's expectations. Pull, brothers, each block lifts our children's future higher. Guide the river, guide the stone, and higher we climb, narrower the margin between glory and collapse. Steady that edge. This angle decides the pyramid's soul. In every carved symbol, Ramos records prayers for unseen generations. Strengthen the ramp. As the capstone rises, the workers glimpse their own inward.
That level of control, changing angles, relighting scenes, adding specific elements just by typing, is usually the hardest part of AI video. We went from a historical documentary style to a living oil painting in one session. We used auto for speed, and we used prompting for control. Whether you are creating storytime videos, history documentaries, or just experimenting with visual storytelling, this isn't a shortcut. It's a workflow that removes the friction between your brain and the screen. I've left a link to Katalist AI in the description below. Go try the platform yourself. It is free to try, and see if you can direct your own viral movie. Thanks for watching. If you want to learn more about building content systems with AI, don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next one.